starting on my Discord and check if everything is fine. Okay, let me do that. One, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. One, two, three, 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 one, two. Okay, it seems everything is working perfectly. Okay, let me sit into my original position here, and Anahit, let us know if you can start. Let us know. Let us know. Okay, welcome everyone in my very new episode of my Dev Life show. Today I'm joined with Anahit from Aya Games, and I'm very honored and very thankful that you joined us for today's episode. Like I'm always saying, let's start with a little bit of introduction. So please introduce yourself for us.
Thank you for inviting. My name is Anahit, and I'm the international representative of Aya Games. And yeah, what else should I say about myself?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for that. It was quick but informative. Thank you. Yeah. So my very first question would be, what was your very first contact with video games as a player, if you remember those times of your past?
I mean, I've been playing video games since I was a child. Ever since like Nintendo days, Sega days. I've been playing video games,
I see.
and I've been interested in the process of making video games, and I've also had a small career as a streamer, like gamer.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I've been playing mostly playing video games like all my life. So that's all I can say, I guess.
I see.
I mostly play PlayStation games.
Okay. I can resonate with that. I do play PlayStation games mostly as well. Nice. Okay. So from that point of your life, when was the tick or the light bulb moment for you when you realized that you would like to work in the video game industry? So it's not just that you love playing video games, but you also want to make the first step, the first move into the video game industry as pursuing a job or having a job in this industry.
Yeah, so I'm also an artist, and I've been
I see.
interested in drawing art for video games and stuff.
I
So
see.
I've been interested in creating my own video games for a long time,
I see.
and I had some ideas during my ever since teenager years. I had some ideas for video games, and I've
see.
always wanted to work in a game studio and like be involved in the process of making the games and see the insights of how everything works, how marketing works, how just the industry is very fascinating to me.
I see.
So when I got the first chance, I accepted it. That's pretty much it. I also like tried going to boot camps and like other places related to video games. Like learned some small things like VFX. And that's pretty much it.
I see. You mentioned like having your own dream games that you would like to make. Would you like to work on these games of yours as well in the future? Like, is it a plan for you still, or you like deleted this plan of yours and just working for other teams?
I can say I deleted that plan, but it's more like I realized the ideas were not very well cooked.
I see.
It needs like a lot of work. So since I've came up with all of that by myself, uh, I realized that in order to actually pursue that, I need to have a team and like understand how everything works. So like that's why I'm in this studio, because I hope to learn everything I can about the making process.
I see.
I did not give up. Hopefully, maybe one day in the future, I will realize some of the ideas that I had.
Okay, I love that. Nice. So more personal question from me would be, do you believe that your family members, parents, and close friends were supportive about this decision of yours, that you stepped into the video game industry and also work in this industry? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so my family was very supportive. They were the first ones who got me the consoles and how I got into the gaming. And I also have brothers who are gamers. So my family was very supportive, and when I said that I found a game studio that I would like to be part of, they were very supportive. At first, they were like a bit suspicious, not suspicious, but more like they just never heard about anything like that. So it took some time for them to
I
completely fully
see.
understand what I'm doing. Yeah, other than that, they've been very supportive.
I see. What about your friends?
Yeah, my friends are also people like me who are also interested in making games. Like most of them are also like they have their own unique ideas, like coming up with art and everything like that. So they have been good
I see, I
in
see, I
that
see,
regard.
I see. Do you believe, by the way, for you personally, it's important to have this mentally supportive background in order to go for your dreams and live your dreams? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, obviously, like if I didn't have the support from my family and friends, that wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be this like fulfilling for me to
I see.
work in a game studio right now. But now I feel very accepted, and I feel like I would love to continue being part of the community of developers and also gamers because I'm part of both.
I see. I see. I see. I see. So let's talk about a bit of the game. When was the first time when you joined the team of Aya Games, and what shape was the game in around that? Did you join the team like the very first days when they formed Aya Games, or was it later when they started working on Ayasha?
Uh, Aya Games, Ayasa is kind of the first game, the first like big name that came from our studio.
I
So I
see.
joined. I didn't join like when they first started working on the game.
I see.
I joined a bit later. Uh, when I joined, they were still working on arts and coming up with the character designs and everything like that. But yeah, I've seen like the process of how it came to life,
I see.
basically, how
I
it got
see.
born.
I see. I see. You mentioned like working in this studio, working with others. Do you believe, by the way, in perfect synergy between team members, or is it something that develops out throughout the process of working together with other team members? How do you feel about this?
I think it comes. Um, I mean, at first, obviously, when you get into a new place, like there is not instant synergy and everything
Okay,
like that. It takes time to build, but like it's interesting seeing all the different people from different backgrounds, like and working together, and especially like with all the different people coming up, like telling their own ideas, like brainstorming together. It produced more interesting results because different backgrounds and
I
like
see.
so yeah, it's been very like very interesting, like and creatively, like it was fun.
I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. Do you miss, by the way, the creative process of your life? Like you mentioned that now you just like help all the team members grow their work experience and working together, but do you miss like being creative in your
uh,
field, in your original art field?
yeah, I
Going
know
back
what
to
you're
this
saying.
topic.
It's I didn't like stop the other stuff that I
I
was
see.
doing
Okay, okay,
for
okay.
other things. So this is like my full-time job. Like I love working here,
I see, I
but I
see,
also like work on myself. I make my own art for my own
I
characters and
see,
like
see.
design the levels and
Okay, so you like haven't stopped but still do that. I see, I see, I see. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's like
Future.
I get inspired here and then I take that inspiration for my own
I
like
see, I see, I
personal
see. Nice, nice,
ideas.
nice, nice, nice. Okay, okay. Throughout the process, by the way, working at Aya Games, what was your favorite part of your job so far? Or parts, if
Uh,
there are more?
my favorite part, I mean, I've been working mostly, I've been the international representative and I've also been the marketing, part of the
I
marketing
see,
team.
I see, I see.
So I've been, the best part for me was honestly just interacting with people, like, especially like, honestly, the best part was like the last few weeks, like interacting with all the players, like talking to them, their experience, like seeing what they think about the game. That was, I guess, for me, one of my favorite parts.
I
But
see.
also like the part of making the art book, like all the stuff, like collecting the art and talking to our team. I love that part too, because I'm an artist myself, so it's been very interesting for
It
me
makes
to
sense,
see
yeah.
how.
I see. Okay. You talked about your favorite parts, but what about the hardest parts or parts about the process of working?
Yeah, the hardest part has to be just like, I mean, if we are a new studio, so like nobody knows about us, and I'm part of the marketing team. So it's like the hardest part has been just getting the name out there, uh, for people to find it, to like hear about it, trying to keep the excitement and like build a fan base, I guess. That was definitely one of the hardest parts, because it's hard to immediately get into like out into the world.
I see. You talked about also the marketing part of the game. Do you guys always have like recipes for how to market your game, or is it something that also develops out throughout the process of marketing the game itself? And sometimes you like have to throw away ideas if they do not work and
Yeah,
start building new ones.
we had a trial and error era. Obviously, we
I
tried
see.
some like different tactics, and some have been working better than others. So we stick to the ones that work usually.
I see.
Right now, we are trying to build a Discord server, because that's the best way to interact with the fan base.
Very true. I see. Why do you think, by the way, it is so hard nowadays to market a video game, especially indie games?
It's just there is so much out there.
Okay.
New games come out like every day, thousands of games come
It's
out.
true, yeah.
So it's hard to just convince people that our game is worth their time, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And we have a lot to tell in our game, so we would like people to like know more about it, hear about it. So that has definitely been.
I see. So going back to the creative life of yours, I believe that all of us creators who create our own craft, we always tend to put our inner self into the projects, the craft we make, even if it's about experiencing loss, love, happiness, or sadness in our life. Is this statement of mine true for your creative process and also like working for Aya Games? And if the answer is yes for both sides, what examples could you name for one side and the other side of your life? Or from your life, sorry.
I can't say about Daya Games because I
Okay.
have not been part of the art team here.
I see.
So I have not been the one coming up with ideas most of the
I
time.
see.
Uh,
Yeah, but I'm guessing that you have to be creative in the marketing field, right? So it's not just
yeah,
that it's a job, but you have to be creative there as well, right? So
yeah, we have been working with a marketing agency too. So it again, it hasn't been just like me or a few people.
I see.
We had lots of. I can't say that I had to put too much of my personal like
I see.
past like experiences in like for the marketing of Aya
I
games.
see.
Like for my personal projects, I usually put like I definitely use my experiences as an inspiration to like I think it gives more soul to
Very
the
true, very
project.
true.
And I think it's the same. It actually is the same for Aya games too. It's just I'm not the one doing that.
Yeah,
So
understandable.
because I know that the developers and everyone they put lots of their uh, experiences into the game.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
What was your favorite personal project that you worked on, by the way, from the art side of your life?
Oh, my favorite personal project. I mean, I had a few. Again, uh, I've enjoyed. I've been trying to make animations like for a long time. That was definitely one of my favorites because
I
I've
see.
always dreamed of being an animator and
I see.
I've always wanted to work in a studio, uh, for specifically for animation. So that was also one of the like most creatively fulfilling parts for me in my personal projects. And yeah, that has to be it. And also, I've been like I've tried making comics and stuff like
Oh,
that.
nice.
So
Okay. Oh, nice. Are they available somewhere to read, by the way?
uh, I have removed them, most of them, because I want to redraw
Why?
the art. Most of them have been like very old. Like
I see.
I made them when I was much younger. I want to change the art style
I
and
see.
like re-upload them.
I see.
So yeah, most of them have been removed from the internet, but I will definitely
I see. I
keep on
see.
doing
I'm
that.
sad now.
They like put that out. I have my art pages. I will definitely make that, realize that
I see.
one day.
I
It's
see. I
just
see.
very time consuming.
I see. I see. What
And
could
working on the project has been like very time consuming by itself.
true, understandable, yeah, yeah. Speaking of art again, by the way, what could cause the effect that you have not started working in art field as for video games, right? Because like you're doing,
Yeah, the art team.
yeah,
Uh, honestly, I'm not.
another field, another job right now. So that's what I wanted to ask. That I can tell by you speaking about art that you're very passionate about it, and like you said, it's your dream. You wanted always to do that. But what was the causing effect, or what is the causing effect that you haven't
Yeah.
done that?
Uh, so I will admit I was not a good artist.
I
I've
see.
never really studied somewhere professionally to become an artist. I was a
I see.
self-taught artist,
I see.
and so it was one of the things stopping me from working like a professional artist or something like that.
I see.
Uh, but I did try, and I will try in the future once I get my skills in a better, like I better my skills. Nowadays, I actually really love working with like teams and like communication. I've been working in this industry before joining the game studio.
I
I've
see.
been working in like in communications, and I realized that marketing and communication are also something that I enjoy doing. So it's not like I'm not feeling
Yeah, it's
fulfilled.
understandable. It's just if, in my opinion, if you would have to choose, right, you would probably rather choose art because it's still a dream of
Yeah,
yours, right? It's tickling there in your head that you would like to do that.
yeah. Hopefully one day I'll be able to join the art team and not the marketing team.
I see.
Like I enjoy being part of the marketing team, but like the art team is more of my dream.
True,
So
true, true, true.
hopefully one day I will be able to fulfill it.
I see. I see. You mentioned that art is something that is self-taught in your life, but would you also choose a mentor if you could for learning art? How do you feel about it? Because it's like a discussion, right? That some people love learning by themselves or by the help of the internet
Yeah.
and books, and some people love to have a mentor. Which is more important for you? Which gives more knowledge to you personally? How do you feel about this?
Learning in groups, that's one of the things. I don't
Okay,
like, I prefer more personal connection with, when it's in a group,
I
I don't
see.
get that personal time.
I see.
So I've been mostly learning by myself, but I
I see.
also have, uh, I also want to go to classes and like try with a mentor.
I see.
I actually did finish graduate from art academy.
I
I'm
see.
just like a graphic designer, not an artist. So
I see.
that's part of it. I hope to continue with a mentor. I think mentors, like having someone, just a teacher or mentor, it definitely does give a lot because you can have instant feedback on whatever you're
True.
doing that
True.
you
True.
can't have
True.
when you're doing by yourself.
True. 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 And the mentor also can discover like your style and your
Yeah.
talent in it, what you are good at that field, and what you should like develop to be better at. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Again, my friends have been a big help for that, and my family. Like I usually show to them and to get feedback.
I see. I see.
But yeah, it would be nice to have unbiased feedback.
True. 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 Very true. Very true. Okay. Okay. How have you changed, by the way, as a person in everyday life or in other territories of your own life from working in the video game industry? Or if there
Uh,
were any changes, of course.
I mean, it has been chaotic.
Okay.
I can admit that because it's been a hustle. It was hard. So that definitely did affect my life in some ways.
I see.
But I wouldn't say in a negative way. In like it's just been like a big experience, a learning
I
experience
see.
that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. again, like all the management of the servers and like Discord, like keeping communication and like at the same time like keeping the like listening to the team and like coming up with ideas and like everything, all of that, it has definitely been like made me think in different ways. Like usually nowadays I'm trying to come up with different ideas and like everything all the time.
I see.
That before that I wouldn't say I had to think much about
I see.
before joining the game studio.
I see. I see. You talked about like communicating with players. How do you balance like the negative and positive feedback from the player's perspective? Like, is it
I think
hard for you to deal with negative or very positive feedbacks personally?
I wouldn't say so. I think
Okay.
the negative feedback is just as valuable as the
Okay.
positive one. We've been
Okay.
asking players to give us negative feedback,
I
just
see.
like to see the problems without sugarcoating them, because it helps us to make. I mean, we've been working on the game, like we've been playing the game, so we are so used to how everything works. So it's important for us to hear what may be an issue for a player that hasn't been like playing the game ever since it's been made.
I see.
Because for us, it's like we can finish the whole game in a few minutes, but because we just know how everything works. And obviously, we also see sometimes like we also like identify the problems and everything, but like again, there are many things that we wouldn't have thought about if we wouldn't have gotten the feedback from other people.
Sorry for the
Uh,
background noise, by the way. Sorry for that.
oh, I don't hear it. It's
Oh, okay,
okay.
okay, okay. I see, I see. And how do you guys, by the way, balance like having the players' feedback, but also stay true to the whole vision of the game? Like, is it something
Yeah,
that it's hard for your team and you, or is it something that very easy and you have a recipe for that? How to balance it?
I think the main thing we stick by is the plot. Like
Okay,
we obviously we don't want to like open all our cards about the plot because for now the demo is out. People can try play that, but we don't want to spoil the whole game.
I see.
But when we hear the feedbacks, we are mostly considering the ones about the gameplay and
I see.
not about the plot, because we know where the plot might be going, where the plot is going.
I see.
So yeah, but like the gameplay feedback and the errors and everything, all of that, uh, that definitely valuable to us.
I see. I see. Going back to the topic of the art life of yours,
Mhm.
when did you or when have you discovered your style in art? Because you said
I can
that you developed out a style with which you also like try to evolve and get better in it, right? So
Yeah, so about art, it's I can say that I have my style right
I
now.
see.
I've been experimenting, like trying different styles.
I see.
Nowadays there are like a few styles that I want to like get
I
into
see.
more and see which one I like more. But
I see.
I would say I started to more clearly understand what direction at least I want to take.
I see.
Like in the past maybe 3 years. Before that, I've been redrawing like other artists' arts, like other comics. I've been trying their styles and like just seeing what works for me and what doesn't, just to like uh, because it helps when you can understand how the other's art is made, so that you
True.
can also figure out your own how you want to make
True.
stuff.
True. 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 What mood usually your art have, by the way? Happy or sad? I'm interested in that.
The comics are more on the happy side.
Okay,
The art itself is it's actually hard to say. It's chaotic, but like chaotic in a fun way.
I see.
I do put lots of my personal like stories in them,
I see.
uh, and so some of them can be depressing
I see.
and like darker. When I was younger, I was definitely making much darker art.
I see. I
But
see. I see.
yeah, after some time, I discovered like that I just like making like chaotic chaotic stuff, and it's just fun because you can put anything you want, like even your dreams. I've been like making art from my dreams.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, like making comics.
Documentation, right?
Yeah, I've been doing that since I was a teenager. I was just
Oh,
seeing.
okay.
I realized that when I see a dream, I can't explain to people what I saw. So I was like, if I can't explain, I can draw.
Wow. Okay. Nice. 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 So
So
you can
that's been
also
like,
like make a game or a book about your dreams, right? It would be
I
a
mean,
totally dream game, right? It would be the definition of
yeah,
dream game.
yeah.
Nice, 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 nice.
It's
Okay.
just I fear that if I make something like that about my dreams, for others it will just be a chaos, like nonsense. For me, it's like my dreams.
Yeah, but
For others,
that's the unique thing, right? That's we
yeah,
share our own stories. That matters. Like you said, that's when it's true, right? It's true to our heart and true to our soul. Because if we would fake it, that it wouldn't have soul in it, right? So
yeah.
yeah, true, 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 true. Some people who played the demo like compared it to Little Nightmares. What differs? What in you at your game? What's the biggest difference or differences from Little Nightmares? Right? Because I can see it, but if you would happen to tell it to players, what's the biggest difference or differences from Little
I mean,
Nightmares?
we can admit that Little Nightmares on Inside were our inspirations. And for me personally, even one of my favorite games. I've always been a fan of Limbo and Inside, so we did take lots of inspiration from
I
that.
see.
But the story is very different and very personal
I
to
see.
us and our culture.
I see.
And the gameplay mechanics, we are going to add lots of stuff that is going to be different from Little Nightmares for sure.
I see.
Uh, so yeah, that's the thing. Mostly the plot is definitely the plot is going to be the biggest part that's going to be different.
I see. I see. You mentioned like cultural stories. Do you think like those players who are not connected with the culture of your team and you will also understand those cultural inside stories like outside your region? How do you
I
feel
mean, we
about
hope
this?
to, but we also
I see.
we hope to convey our story in a way
I
like
see.
for others to understand. But we also don't want it to be like, uh, I mean, we put lots of culture and like our souls in it, but we don't want
I
that
see.
to be a focus. We don't want people to just see it like some piece of like history or like
I see. I see. I see. I
something
see.
like that. We just want to make a fun game, basically.
I see.
So an entertaining game. So as much as we put like lots of ideas in it, it's okay if others don't see them. It's
I
okay if
see.
they see them. It's okay if they don't see them. If they just find it as a fun game that has an interesting story, that's completely fine by us.
I see.
We don't want it to be like you have to see the plot for
Yeah,
it
it's
to be interesting.
understandable. Yeah, 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 yeah. So if I understand it correctly, for those people who live in your region will have a more meaningful story, right? As for the cultural aspect, but those who do not understand the cultural aspects of your game, they might be missing those elements, right? If I understand it correctly.
I wouldn't say missing because
Okay.
it's not like it's gonna take anything away from the
I
story
see.
if you don't have
Okay.
because the
Okay.
story in itself is very different. It's not like connected to real life at all.
I
We
see.
made it like a separate world. So the whole world of the game is different. It's like made up and like
I see.
we don't want it to be like just about like our culture in like
I see. I see.
it's just gonna be an interesting game. We want people to get more into the world of the game rather than try to figure out what it implies in like for us or for our culture.
I see. I see. So let's
If
talk
that makes
about,
sense.
yeah, yeah, it's understandable. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, thank you for that. So let's talk about the horror aspect of your game. Why do you think it is so appealing to people to see horror movies and play horror games? Why people are so obsessed with the horror genre itself?
I can speak for everyone, but
Okay,
I myself enjoy playing horror games, so I can
I see.
speak from my own
Okay,
experience. I think the appeal comes from just not knowing what's gonna happen.
okay,
The thrill of it, just like waiting to see what's gonna happen, and also like it keeps you on your toes. Basically, you're just like playing, and whenever you are like trying to, like, you think you got the hang of it, you're like relaxing, and then something happens, and you're like, oh, you
True,
get like
true, true.
shocked. That I just like that aspect. So I think again, I can't speak for everyone else, but I think for me personally, that's one of the appeals, because uh, it gives you lots of emotions, basically,
True,
that otherwise you wouldn't have gotten. And
true,
it also makes you feel fulfilled when you like finish, go through all that, and you like conquer it. You're like, oh, I did it.
true,
I
true,
think it
true,
gives, yeah, it gives that feeling of like, yeah, I went through that.
true, true, true. And hopefully made it out alive, right, from
Yeah.
the game. Okay, okay. So the core aspects of your game is like horror, puzzles, and also story. Which is more there in your game? Like, which is the most
Um,
important aspect of your game that shines
I think
out
the
from all of those three?
I think it's going to be the plot,
Okay,
because we are like, that's the thing that we are mostly like focused on.
I see.
But obviously, we are also working really hard on the horror aspect on it. We don't want to
I
make it
see.
like a terrifying game or anything like that.
I
But we
see.
want to like to keep it like constantly like on your, like playing the whole game on your toes, basically.
I see. I
But
see. So it's
but
not
like
just
we
jump
don't.
scares, but you are scared at the whole playthrough. I see.
The jump scares are not really our stuff. We have a few jump scares, like even in the demo, you can see a few times where like something else like unexpected happens.
I see.
But yeah, we're right now we are working on that to try to figure out the balance, so that we will, because if you only focus on the horror aspect on it, people will just like keep all their mental energy on that.
True. True.
They will
True.
not pay attention to the plot.
True.
So
True.
we
True.
also want to find a balance where both of these things can coexist.
I see. I see. I see. I've seen that your game is coming out to Steam, right? But are you guys planning to also release it for other platforms as well?
Yeah, we're definitely going to release on other
I
platforms.
see.
We want to release. I mean, I can't speak too much about that right
Okay.
now because it's plans in the future, but like it's going to be available on like Nintendo and like all the other platforms.
I see. Okay.
Hopefully, like soon in the future.
I see. I see. And
Yeah.
what about the physical editions? Because I'm a big fan of like collector's editions, physical editions of video games. Are you
Uh,
guys planning to do with it
yeah,
something
that's
with it as well, or?
yeah. We've been working on that. We've been also working on like figuring out what else we can do for like people who want to support us,
I see.
like buying the art and stuff. Like we also want to do that, so that like basically making something that we ourselves would like to have.
I
We
see.
will think of it that way. So we're working on thinking about where like I can see when it's gonna happen, like the physical edition of the game. We are still working on that, figuring out how to do that. But yeah, we're also going to have other physical stuff that we can give away, like for people who want to support us or for people who want to buy it.
I see.
They
I
can
see.
also get that.
I see. The beginning of our interview, by the way, you mentioned that you still love playing video games, so not just working in the video game industry, but also love playing video games. How your perspective as a player changed from working in the video
Yeah.
game industry?
That's a big change. Like
Okay,
before joining the industry, I was just playing the games. I would never really think how it came to be. I would just maybe I would, if I get interested in the creator, I would go and read about it. But like obviously, I never really knew
I see.
the process of
I see.
making, like the steps it takes. So yeah, nowadays when I play games, I can also think like, oh, they did a good job optimizing this part for it to work, or like appreciating the small things that otherwise I wouldn't have thought about.
I
Like,
see.
wow, this is like a beautiful scene, but it's also very optimized. So like all that stuff that I never would have thought about before. Or like even the animations of like the character animations. I know how long it takes to make character animations now. I mean, I worked in the animation industry before this too, but
I see.
like I've never worked in 3D animation industry. So like working with IASA, obviously it's 3D animated. So yeah, seeing the process of the animation, like how long it takes and all of that. Now when I play other games, I'm like more appreciative of how they accomplish that. So it's been more like it's kind of been like putting on glasses and like seeing more colors. Is it didn't take anything away from my
I
experience
see.
of gaming. It only added,
I see.
I would say.
I see. At the beginning of our interview, you also talked about like balancing your time to have time for your work, your personal life, and also making art. How do you do that? So what's the balance plan in your life, if you have any plans
It's
with the
been
balance?
I am very bad at time management,
Okay,
so I will admit that. So it's been a bit chaotic, but
I see.
again, in a good way. I usually go home and I get inspired from working here. I go home and I'm like trying to draw, and at the same time, obviously, like family and all that stuff, like balancing life with friends, meeting friends, family. It's been tough, I can say. It's been easy, but it's also been very exciting.
I see. I see. You also mentioned like even if it's a dream or a thought or anything that you think about, you always try to draw it down on paper or in a digital form, right? Did it ever happen to you that you were thinking constantly of something that was very appealing to you, like an idea of a game or anything that was personal? You would wanted to draw it down, but you didn't have the possibility for that. And if
Yeah.
yes, do you still remember those ideas of yours? And could you like draw them again?
I have a whole like the list of notes in my phone
Okay,
that are like random things that I randomly came up to my mind when
I
I'm
see.
like walking outside or doing something else, and I don't have the time or the means to like realize that instantly.
I see.
Nowadays I got a phone that has like I got a Samsung phone that has the pen inside,
Oh,
so
okay,
I
okay.
can also
You are
sketch on my.
prepared now.
Yeah, if it's like a small like sketch idea that I have, I
I see.
can quickly sketch that. But other than that, I have like a list of notes I write down so that I won't forget. But yeah, it's been fun. There have been fun situations where I wrote something down, like like only the like main points.
I
I
see.
wrote down the main points, and later I forgot the whole point. So I was like, "What are these words? What was I trying to think about?" Yeah.
I see. I see. I see. I see. I see. You also like mentioned that you would like to make your own game or games. What would be like a really dream game that you would like to make? Or what genre? What kind of genre or story would you like to make a game
I
around?
mean, honestly, working in the studio, like in Aya Games, this is the genre that I was also
Okay,
very in love with. So if I were to make a game, I think it would also be in this genre.
I
I mean,
see.
I've had some ideas of different, like I had many ideas. I even had ideas for like cooking games,
Okay.
but yeah, story-driven cooking games. But
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that was one of my projects that I kind of half realized. But other than that, yeah, like I just love the idea of like like more slow
I
storytelling.
see.
Just like when it's not immediate, when like it's not like screaming at your face what's gonna happen, and you have to play through. And since I also really like making comics and stuff, I also like including that. Like maybe some parts of like some parts, some scenes of the story are in comic forms or like stuff like that. That's what I've been like for part of my ideas. Just
I
yeah.
see.
That's it.
Why do you think, by the way, players and people do not like longer stories? For me personally, I love reading longer books, playing through longer games. But why do you think like nowadays gamers and nowadays consumers of any form of art or media, they are down to just for the very short stories? Why is that?
I mean, nowadays I think it's not a secret or anything like that. That's the attention span in general has
True.
like went down a lot since we are now surrounded with shorter like content. So I think that also plays a big role in it. People just want things to get quick to the point, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I'm not saying it in any bad
No, it's
way.
not a
I think
bad, but it's like it's still like there are stories which needs to develop out its root,
yeah,
right? So you cannot force it to be
yeah.
short.
I think again, both are valuable in their own ways.
True.
Like the short stories I like shorter stories too, but I really appreciate the long ones where like they build the whole world. And I think it's important to like not cut corners, like not try to to fit a huge story in like a small package. I mean, if they can figure out a way, that's fine. That's completely fine to do, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it's more like kind of trendy right now to just make things like
True.
shorter, quicker, faster, and all that.
True.
But other than that, I think it's important to have longer stories. Like I even like games that have each game are like continuing the story or like stuff like that. My childhood favorite game was Assassin's Creed, and
Oh,
like
nice.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's a game that has a huge world and it keeps on
True.
building.
True. 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 True.
I think that also has its own value, and people should also appreciate those types of like games.
Very true. Very true. Very true. We touched here a lot of topics, and before I will ask some more questions, are you down to go into community questions from my chat as well?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know. Let us know if there is any question. Any question. Bármilyen kérdés? Any question? Any question? Bármilyen kérdés? I will also link the Steam page of the game. I linked it to my Discord, but I will do that here on my chat as well, so people can try out the demo and wishlist the game as well. Ladies and gentlemen, any question? Any question? Bármilyen kérdés? While we are waiting for questions, by the way, let me ask this. So, what would be your advice, by the way, for those people who would like to make the first move, the first step in order to work in the video game industry?
I think they should not be discouraged if something doesn't work out, because it's not easy to immediately get into immediately head job into the industry. It usually takes some time. People need to see that you are valuable to their team, and I think people should also understand that it's not just about like your skills. It also like you have to also put some effort in it. Like you need to be more like you need to communicate why you would be good, why you want to be part of the team,
True.
and why you will be valuable to them. And again, I've had my experiences where it didn't work out, and obviously this time it did. And I think it's all about being persistent and like knowing for yourself, mostly not for others, knowing for yourself that you can do it, and you have things to do and things to learn and things to show to the world. I think if you're sure about all of that in yourself, then you can also like convince others basically and join and hopefully achieve the dreams.
I see. Going back to the topic, by the way, of art, another thing that I'm interested in talking about is that you mentioned that you wanted to start redrawing your comics, right? Because you weren't like comfortable with the way they looked. So my question from that would be like, what was the causing effect that you have never given up and you always wanted to evolve in this field of your life, in this dream of your life, right? Because like we talked about it, it's not what you're working in right now, but you would like to. Most people give up in this type of lifestyle where they have to like work in another territory in their life but still have a
I,
passion and a drive for something else. But you didn't. What made you did not give up with this dream of
I think
yours?
I was just convinced ever since I was younger. I
See,
just convinced myself basically that I have a lot to tell,
I see,
and if I need to find my own like way to tell it. Like
I
at
see,
first I tried writing stories. I still like writing stories too, but
I see.
I know that it's not really my main like direction where I want to go. But yeah, I just knew that I have things to tell, and I have stories to tell to the world, basically. And artists, it just happened to be the medium that I enjoyed the most.
I see.
And I just have fun making art, and I also know that it's the best way to, because I am a visual person. I see I mostly, whenever I hear stuff, I immediately see the whole visual picture of it in my head. So because of that, I just realized that the only way I can convey that to other people is through art. I can only draw that because I can't explain it to them with word. I tried, but like that's just not, I just love the colors and all of that. And I think, yeah, it's important to just know for yourself that you want to do that, and you have something to give. And if you are very sure about what you're doing, even if it doesn't work out, you can keep on like trying and trying and improving until someone hears you out. Or if even if no one does, you will feel creatively fulfilled from just doing that
True.
because you do something you like.
True. Very true. Very true. Very true. Oh, Gergovich, it's a question. It seems. Oh, he's saying it's not a question. Uh, he really loves the game. He tried out the demo, like we talked about it. The game really reminded him of Little Nightmares because he is a big fan of Little Nightmares series. Um,
Yeah.
and also he was reminded like the vibe of Ayasha also reminded him of like A Quiet Place, the Road Ahead game, which he played recently. Um, Oh, his question is he's not sure if like the game will be released on Xbox, but he would be very happy if the game would be released on that platform as well. And yeah,
Yeah, we're
that's
working on it. We're not sure about like the specific consoles, which ones. We will try to release it on all the possible consoles
I
so
see.
that everyone can try playing it on their own favorite way. But yeah, it's interesting. I didn't hear about the quiet place part. Like I didn't hear that feedback before.
New
I
feedback,
think
new
that's
feedback.
interesting.
Very true,
Yeah.
very true. Thank you for that, from Garagovich. Okay, any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Bármilyen kérdés, hölgyek, urak? Any questions? Also, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to try out the demo and wishlist the game. Wishlist the game. It helps. It helps. It helps. Throughout the process of the development, by the way, do you know if there was anything that needed to be cut out from the game since you worked with Aya Games?
Yeah, we had I can't say too much again about the story, but
Okay,
we did have lots of ideas. It's just we realized that some of these ideas are contradicting each
I
other,
see. I see. I
or
see.
some work better than others. So we had to figure out a way to tell the story in the best way and also make the story something that will be interesting for others.
I see.
So we had to cut some parts about like lots of story had to be changed. So if you asked back then when we just started making the game, it was a different story. Like
I see.
like over half of the story was pretty very different. And in the beginning of the process, we were also like figuring out the story as we were going. So yeah, at the beginning it was more like the story was making itself. We were making the
I see.
game and the story is telling itself. So yeah, but we had to cut lots of stuff in order to fit the time in like the game to make the story more compact because it would otherwise be like a huge mess. And we also didn't want to leave too many open plot lines and like
See.
all the stuff. So we had to keep track of every aspect of everything. And yeah, lots of stuff sadly had to be cut, but even if like some stuff will be cut, like characters or anything like that, we might still feature them in some way, like
I see.
show them maybe to the people who are interested in seeing.
I see. I see. Speaking of the story, by the way, what was the goal with the length of your game?
Uh, we wanted to make it long enough for people to get into the atmosphere and into the world,
I see.
but not long enough for them to get bored of it, if it makes
I
sense.
see. I see.
So it had to, we were figuring out the perfect length. And also, since they're like, I can tell too much about the story, but like, yeah, there are lots of aspects of it. We had to think of, mm, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it's
just don't want to
understandable. No,
spoil.
no, it's understandable. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. What was the goal, by the way, with the difficulty settings of the game? Because you mentioned that your game is like more story focused, but it also like have puzzle elements. Like, what was the goal with the puzzle elements? How hard or how easy they are for the players to go through or get through?
We again, without giving too much, I think we made it in a way that it's gonna be affected whether people are lazy to finish some of the puzzles or
I
not.
see, I see, I see.
Yeah, that's gonna be affecting the story in some ways. But we wanted to give some puzzles that will, like maybe some puzzles that will not be very obvious, and unless you really want to get into it, some people might not even notice some of the stuff. But we wanted to make it, other than the puzzles, we also wanted just to make the game just difficult enough for people not to just immediately be like, it's like quickly finish the game and be done with it. So for example, in the demo there are many hard parts. Like I myself tried playing some of them. We were tweaking the difficulty because at first it was easy, then it was too hard. So we've been trying to figure out the middle ground. But we also still want to keep it entertaining and to keep people excited. So we there the puzzles are going to be hard, and also many things are going to be different. Like there are going to be different levels and stuff. So it's going to be like different puzzles and all that stuff. We'll see what's gonna happen. Yeah.
I see, I see. Going back to the topic of the comics that you made, by the way, what was your favorite comic to make? Because we haven't talked about that.
Uh, it's it's kind of sentimental in a way because one of my favorites was the one I made for my game.
Okay.
So again, as I told, instead of making cutscenes in the game, since I'm not a game designer or anything like that, I'm just an artist, and I didn't really make a game. I was just designing and like making the levels and designing the
I see.
characters and all of the art stuff. So I found a way to tell the story. Like the best way was to make a comic, make it in a comic way. And honestly, that was the best. I just enjoyed that the most because it was also one of my first times like actually trying to make a good comic. Like not just I've been making like life comics, like just about my life, like everyday life comics basically a lot, and I really enjoy making those. But I can give like a specific example of this because it's just like random stuff that was happening in my life. But with that it was like more story driven,
I see.
so that's why I like that one a lot, and I hope in the future I will be able to make more story driven comics, like from the stories I made up, or the stories from my dreams basically.
It's a unique twist to have like a comic cutscene in a game, right? It's not that common that games had or have like these type of cutscenes or storytelling form, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I think it's kind of considered to be a lazy way because many
Why?
people
No,
think.
no, no, no. I don't think that
I,
because
I
you
don't
like you can also
think so.
like voice actors telling the
Yeah,
story and having all these like simple like or more
yeah.
simple focus like cutscenes we can say with comics based cutscenes, right? So, but I
I
don't think
really,
it's lazy.
yeah. I don't think I've seen that a lot. I've seen that mostly in smaller game
Yeah,
titles. Like I haven't seen that in like any big
yeah,
titles. I
yeah.
think at least not one that that comes up to my mind right now.
Deadpool
But
the game, if you know that game, it also featured some cutscenes in a comic way, but it makes sense, right? Because it's like a Marvel game, so yeah,
yeah, usually it's like the Marvel ones that feature
yeah,
that, but yeah, obviously Marvel is built on the comic universe.
yeah.
So I think in those cases it makes sense, but other than that, I haven't seen many games like that. I've seen some small titles that had like a good way to use that. even like a very short like mobile game that I tried that I thought that it's a very creative way to tell a story. It was like you had to finish something and you get one frame from the comic, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's how you learn the whole story. Then you
Like
have
a
to unlock
puzzle.
yeah, that was like a fun way to use a comic like mechanic in your game. But yeah, I think I just think I think the comic medium is coming back recently,
Sure.
like with all the like Marvel. The focus went away. Yeah, sorry.
All right, it's
With
okay.
all the Marvel movies, like animated movies, like Spider-Verse, like all that was like a huge build, like because they also use the comic style,
True.
like animation in
True.
their movies, and after that, like many other series and movies started to take that,
True. True.
and I
True.
hope it will also go to the gaming medium too, and they will also start to use more of that because I think it's a very fun and like active, like I don't know, it's like you're also part of it, you're like
True.
reading a story, it just
True.
like makes you go into that.
True. True. True.
I think that's fun.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. Thank you. Thank you for that. By the way, thank you. Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen, by the way, any questions? Any more questions? I know it's early, but let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know if there is any more question. Let us know. Let us know. I'm not sure, by the way, if I'm allowed to ask this, but what was the influence behind the name of the game? If you can also talk about that, or if you know about what
Not sure
influence.
if I can talk about that. So
Oh,
certainly
okay,
I can't tell too much, but yeah, it's also related to like cultural. It's kind of it has cultural aspects in it.
I see, I see, I
But
see,
I'm not sure if I can like open that up like too much,
I
so
see,
I
I
will
see.
not talk. I have to check. That's why.
Okay, okay, no, no, it's no worries, no worries. Okay, okay. By the way, we talked here about a lot of topics. Before I will go into some closing questions, is there anything that you would like to talk about and add to our whole conversation that we talked about, even if it's about the game, your personal dreams, or your work in the video game
I
industry?
I mean the thing I will say about the game is
Okay,
it's more like the industry. I will say like a few words about that because like many people are confused about like where our studio is or like stuff like that.
okay,
Basically, I just want to clarify that our headquarters and like everything like is in US, and but like the management, like the creative minds behind the game are Armenian. So it's also a very unique experience because we don't have many games. That's why for me it was hard to find something like that because I am in Armenia and I am Armenian, and it was hard to find a game studio here to work in, or at least I haven't heard about any big titles coming from our country, and I think this is a big step for us because we are also trying to get our name out there and have some culture in it. I think I just wanted to mention this because I've been talking about culture a lot, and I haven't been talking about like
true,
my
true, true,
country.
true,
So
true, true, true. Very true, very true.
I
Yeah,
think it had to be part of
it
it.
makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I see, I see. You mentioned like there are not that many, or at least you don't know that many studios from your country. What could be the causing effect of this?
I think it's like one of the things is like it's a small country, and
I see.
so it's not just about the gaming industry. Like many of the industries are not very developed here, and especially the game industry is like kind of very new here. Not
I
kind of
see.
new. Like
I
it's
see.
very new here. We did have some titles, like small titles, like mostly mobile games, coming out from our
I
country,
see. I
but
see.
we at least I don't know about any like not mobile game
I
that
see. I
came out
see.
from like a PC game or like any game in stream. Maybe there are. I just like at least I don't know if they are in army from Armenia. It's not mentioned anywhere.
I see.
So yeah.
Do you think, by the way, if a studio puts out uh, his name or her name into the word and also the country's name, other people will follow it? Like, can you see it happen that more studios will appear
We
after your game's release? or even
we
now
try.
that you announce your game?
As someone who is also part of the gaming community in like my country too, I've noticed just like how people got excited when they realized that something is coming out from our country, and they also have high hopes and like not just from us, just like for the future of our country, like gaming industry. We don't want it to sound like we are like this revolutionaries, like doing something new. No, it's just we want to build more opportunities for others to follow
True,
us
true, true, true.
and like just know that it's possible even like here. But yeah, again, it's not just we also don't want it to just be like oh, this game is like connected to Armenia. Like we don't want that to be a focus on it, because it doesn't play much part in the story. Like you can it's not necessary to know, because again, the whole story of the game is made up, like the whole world is made up. So we don't want it to be too focused about the culture, but it does add a bit to the game if you know some of the cultural stuff. And I think it's also been very exciting for our gamers to see the stuff in the game about that. And maybe it will also be interesting for the other people from other countries to like try to find the details and like
True,
understand that,
true, true, true.
hopefully.
Very true, very true, very true, very true. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My closing question would be, by the way, if you would happen in the future to make really your games that you always wanted to do, what would be like the core message that you would like to give to the players and the consumers? Because at the beginning of our interview, right, you told me that you told us that you always wanted to tell personal stories that are important to you and also should be important for the players and for the consumers of your art. What would be a message that you would like make into your art forms, even if it's a game or a comic, that you always wanted to like hint for those people who read your comics or will play your future games if you make them?
Or studio.
Sorry.
Me personally, right?
Yeah, you
Just,
personally, yeah, because I
yeah,
believe that all of us creators have our own like message that we always, not always intentionally, but we would like to give throughout our forms of art if we are
yeah.
into making some
Uh,
creations.
I I think I can give like one specific message.
Okay,
I like
okay.
for me, it's gonna sound like cliche, but to like not give up and like all of that stuff, like pursue your dreams and that. And I think I've been trying, at least I've been trying to show that in my art and in all of that, that no matter how many times you get knocked down, you can always like get up and like fly higher than you ever thought you could. And like that's one of the like I'm not gonna say it's the only message that I'm always putting in my dreams,
I see.
in my work, but like uh yeah, that's one of the big things. But yeah, I just like telling personal stories, like just stories that resonate with me. And I personally really enjoy adding cultural stuff to my stories,
I
because I
see.
think it adds flavor. It kind of makes it come like pop out of all the other like stories in some ways. Because yeah, I personally think my culture I have a rich culture, and
True.
I'm not saying that we have the richest culture or anything like that, but it's not very well known, and I like just putting that in stories and the history and the culture and just my own personal experiences. I
I
think
see.
it gives so much life to the work.
True. True. Very true. And it also, I think that this mindset of yours is very rare, because nowadays it's more common to like forget about the roots of ours and our culture, right? What would be the causing effect from your perspective, that a lot of people nowadays forget about their own roots, their own like, you know, past family members and their own culture?
I think it's just I mean, again, I don't want to sound like cliche or anything like that, but like with internet, it also came the new age of like merging everything together. Like people from all different cultures can connect, and I think it's a great thing. I'm not saying it in any bad way. It's an amazing thing because like culture is not something that is like secret or just yours
True,
anymore.
true, true,
You
true,
can
true.
share it with everyone, and many people just choose to like think of themselves as like part of like they just get into so many stuff they don't really focus on their own culture. Uh it's like you're a citizen of the planet and not a citizen of your country anymore
True,
or like
true,
anything
true,
like that.
true,
I think there is a value in that too because it makes us more united, but
true.
also I think it's important, at least for me personally, it's important to like also remember your
No, I
roots.
agree with that, and I think that it's very sad that I can
Yeah,
relate to that, because like it's very sad in my opinion that a lot of people like actually forgetting their
yeah,
own culture or
I
like
do agree.
heritage, and here in Hungary it's also very true that a lot of people do not know even about their own culture, which is very like weird to me, and well, very also very sad to me, because like as a person who was born in a country, you have to respect your own culture because that's you, right? So it makes
Yeah.
what you are at the end of the day. So
Definitely agree with that. It's like the culture gave birth to you. Yeah,
true, true, exactly, exactly. And you cannot deny it, right? So even if you want to deny it or change your culture, which is fine, like you said, and I agree with that, being like more
yeah,
open-minded to every culture is a very good thing. But also, like at the end of the day, you will be, in my opinion at least, you will be this empty soul who forgets his own culture or her, that you are
I do
not
agree.
connected anymore to that you were born.
I think it's completely fine to different cultures,
True,
but
true,
like
true.
to just if you right them in some way, you can like take them or in anything in any way
Exactly,
like that. But
exactly.
more like and also like tell others about your cultures and like appreciate your own because again, I think the culture gave birth to every one of us as people.
Exactly, exactly.
And I think it's important to always remember your roots
True,
and appreciate your culture.
true,
Yeah,
true, true.
I definitely agree with that. Many people seem to want to like modern, like just like become
Exactly.
part of
Yeah.
the world, like without thinking about like their culture. And I think it's sad. I think we should bring
Yeah,
that
I agree
into.
with that. And it also like in a way, in a bit like it's similar like when people like leaving their families, right? Their own parents, and they are not connected to their parents anymore. They do not call up their moms or dads to say hi or to talk with them, and it's pretty much similar to this topic, right? Because they start to forget about their family and their heritage, like yeah.
It's a good analogy. I think I wouldn't come up with that, but that's a great way to tell. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for this conversation, by the way. I appreciate it, and it was a very good closing topic in my opinion. Thank
It
you
was
for your
very
time.
interesting. It was also very mind-opening for me to like hear some of the things. It also made me think about many like different stuff, and also kind of made me want to do more art and like focus on that.
See,
Yeah,
I always say this, that my dev live show is like not just a therapy session for me, but for my guests as well. We
yeah,
always learn from each other, and we always develop ourselves from
I,
talking with
I
each other.
agree. This was a very like kind of therapeutic conversation. It's always nice to talk with people from like different cultures and all that. I think
Thank
it's
you.
very interesting.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, and for your honesty as well. And thank you for the comment from Gergovich from the chat as well, and everyone who watched us live or will be watching back our VOD or YouTube edited version on YouTube as well. Like I said, I will need some more of your minutes of stream, but for those who are watching us live or will be watching back the saved version of our interview, enjoy your time and thanks for watching us. Don't forget to wishlist the game and try out the demo. And yeah, have a great day or evening, depending where you live, and enjoy your Christmas holiday, right? So, Christmas is coming. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Happy holidays. Bye bye.